All right, so a few weeks ago, when I went to book my curly cut appointment, I couldn't get in. I kept trying to book, and it would say no appointments available. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I went over to the Instagram for the salon I go to, and I noticed they also haven't published any content in a few weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And with all the talk about, curly cuts being bad and all this and that and the other, and I'm like, I hope they still do curly cuts, because the salon I go to actually does a whole bunch of other different services. So I went over to my stylist has like her own separate entrepreneur page, and I was like, oh, okay, like she was just on a break. She was out there, for the summer living her best life. So last week I was finally able to get an appointment. And yeah, so today's Saturday, my appointment's for Monday, and I'm looking forward to it. But that did have me in my feelings a little bit. That brief period of time where I thought like maybe my stylist wasn't doing curly cuts anymore because of all the drama that was going on. And then also recently, I know Black Girl Curls got rid of their stylist directory. And with Black Girl Curls getting rid of their stylist directory recently, it made me think about like, what would my hair journey be like if I didn't have that directory, if I didn't connect with the stylist? Like, what would I be doing right now? And that thought got me into my feelings a little bit. So in this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about texturism, cancel culture, and curly cuts. So I will put a full disclaimer out there. Normally I do like research in my videos. I try to outline them and do all this stuff. This is none of that. This is literally just me, going through my thoughts as I get ready for this next curly cut. And curly cuts are so controversial right now. I really liked curly cuts, not necessarily because, I thought it was the best looking hairstyle ever or whatever. I liked it for the experience. I liked the experience of going to a salon and knowing that they were going to work with my texture of hair, and I didn't have to get any heat styling. They were going to try to stuff it in braids and twists. Like, I was just going to go in there, they were just going to style my hair, and I was going to leave. And by far, it has been like the most relaxing thing I've ever experienced. It's just somebody just working with my hair instead of working against it, trying to manipulate it and put it into styles that it normally wouldn't form into. So that's why I really enjoy, my visits to my stylist and, getting curly cuts, just because I don't have to deal with blow drying and heat styling and even like braiding and stuff. Like, I know it's just so much less drama for me going to get a wash and go and just going to get that wash and go cut. And with all this controversy around curly cuts and stuff, I do feel like a little bit of that peace of mind has been, taken away, which is fine. I will say that I think that people should share their experiences. I don't have anything against people sharing their experiences. It did have me second guessing like the things I was doing to my hair. And I'll make another video about why I believe my hair hasn't been impacted in the ways that other people's has. A little bit of my peace of mind left as these conversations about curly cuts keep escalating. All right, so I will say this, with all the experiences out there, like, I respect people's experiences. I, have nothing against people that want to get their hair blown dried or, go back and forth between curly cuts and blow dried cuts. Made me be like, oh my God, here we go again. It's just like the notion that the only way my curly cut is valid is if I blown it out to have my ends assessed. I'm like, here we go again. Like, us people with these like tight curls can't have nothing. And again, this is all, like I said, in my feelings. I normally do like deep dives and, get information from whatever. So, that whole notion, I don't like it. That's not to say it's right or wrong. So I don't like it. It's like, why is my hair only valid and the point where I stretch it out? Like the length. Oh, your hair, I had somebody comment on my channel one time, like, oh, you don't do length checks. Like, how do you know any of this is working? Like, this whole notion that unless you take a piece of kinky curly hair and stretch it, like, that's the only time it's valid. I don't like it. And because I feel like a few years ago, when I first went natural, people weren't even really doing cuts on blow dried hair, in my area at least, for that same reason, because they used to say, oh, you can't really truly see split ends in a blown out state, and they would want to press it out. And I feel like the only reason a lot of people, not everybody, the only reason people started doing, cuts on blown out hair is because people wanted to go into protective styles without getting a silk press in between, and they wanted to have their ends cut. So then I feel like people became more open to the idea of, blowing your hair out and trimming it that way. But I feel like it used to be the same thing. Like, oh, blowout is not good enough to do a trim. Like, you need to completely take all the texture out of your hair to be able to properly assess your ends. So I just don't like it. It's like, why is my texture never good enough? Like, I thought I finally found my happy place, my peace, and then this conversation about, you having to. Like I said, people's experiences and wanting to do that is one thing, but like this whole notion of, oh my God, you don't know what's lurking underneath that textured hair of yours unless you go get it blown out. Like, I don't like it. Like I said, I'm not advocating for or against it. It's just like, I don't like it. I have no plans to get my hair, blown out and assessed anytime soon. I'm just looking forward to moving forward with my curly cuts and kind of getting back into the routine of getting them. And the other thing that has been on my mind is cancel culture. I've never seen anybody but black women cancel another black woman's business. And it's crazy. I will say that I don't think, that is the intent of people sharing their experiences. But sometimes, like, I feel like it incited this thing in the comment sections of some videos or like some social media posts were like, this is wrong, like you gotta da 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 da. And it's like, oh my God, here we go again. I thought we was gonna make it out of 2023 without another, black woman-owned brand being canceled. Because since I started like paying attention again to like the natural hair community, or just like, I would say natural beauty space, it's always black women canceling another black brand. And I can't for the life of me understand it, because it is hard enough to operate and say like, start a business and say, hey, like my primary target audience is going to be black women, because people in the business world can be small-minded. They hear black women and then, they start looking at the demographics. Some of them only like really consider the US, which again is small-sighted instead of the global impact that it could have. And then they look at the percentage of black women in the population, which is small. And then they look at the percentage of women who actually wear their natural hair, and just like the price point of natural hair stuff versus the price point of, weaves, wigs, extensions, and like how much money that makes. And it almost seems like not worthwhile when you're trying to like advocate for funding and things like that for business. So I'm just like, for, black business owners to go through all of that behind the scenes, and then like the minute they blink wrong to have, 25 YouTube videos pop up canceling them, it's like crazy to me. I don't think the ladies who shared their experience about, the blown out cuts and the curly cuts, I don't think that was their intent. But it has incited some of that, like, burn black girl curls by all means necessary energy in some people. And I just don't like it. Like I said, this is a feelings video. It's not information. It's not fact. I haven't watched every video on curly cuts. To be honest, I listen to more YouTube than I actually watch. So I'll throw it on my phone or something in the background while I'm cleaning. And even after a while, I just gotta be like, I gotta tap out. And I gotta go listen to an audiobook or do something else, because it's like just the amount of content that's been coming out has been crazy and impossible to keep up with. But with that being said, I'll go back to curly cuts again. I guess when the whole thing the first video I saw, I think I actually saw that one, and the hair was blown out. It looked bad. Like I wouldn't want my ends to look like that. But at that time it was like only the ends. Only the ends. The blown out stylist was supposed to cut off like all of the bad ends. So the message was, curly cuts do not address all the split ends. And if you want all the split ends addressed, you have to go get, this blown out cut. And that was supposed to be the end of it. And it seems like that's not really the case, because now we're into like leave-ins and deep conditioners, and that being the reason why the issue, right? But again, I'm an engineer and I overthink stuff. And this is not factual, but I'm just like, if the curly cut was the issue and the way you fix that is to get rid of all the split ends, if the cuts these ladies got addressed all the split ends, like, why is there still issues? If there were, other underlying issues, why didn't the stylist who did the blowout, talk to them about the routine and recommend it then? I don't want to sit here and dissect like other people's experiences, again, because they're valid, and I know they're helping some other ladies, go through their routine and make adjustments as necessary. But some of it, like, I don't know, it just made me feel weird because I just feel like if it was, I said this in a different video too, like, so if somebody was getting, their hair blown out and silk pressed, and then they went to a curly stylist and they had, heat damage, the answer wouldn't have been, oh no, those straight cuts, they don't address heat damage. She's like, no, you have heat damage. Let's figure out how to address this. So I guess like when those first videos hit, I was just kind of like, what else is going on? Like there's something else going on, but it's just like, why is there such a push to find like one common thread among everybody who's experiencing this issue, when like nobody is, doing exactly the same thing, exactly the same way at exactly the same time. So nobody's, going through the exact same wash day routine. Nobody's using the exact same products. Nobody is using the exact same stylist, for curly cuts or for the blowout. So why is it this push to figure out like this one thing that everybody shares in common that could be leading to the damage? Because it may not be the same. People might be experiencing the same things, but not experiencing it for the same reasons. So that seems kind of off. Again, not invalidating anybody's experience. Like people say things are happening and things, help to fix it. Like I believe it. But it's just like, what is this like kind of groupthink and just trying to pin it on like one thing or like just one way that everybody's experiencing the similar type of damage. And why is it only, all have to be rooted back into the no butters, no oils challenge? Again, like this is weird video for me because I normally do like lots of research and have my notes and all that, but just thinking out loud and in my feelings as I approach this curly cut, and it feels like, coming on camera and saying I'm getting a curly cut in the current state of the natural hair community is brave. Yeah, and it just has me thinking, like, is my stylist like that much of a unicorn? Because even looking at some of the forms I got for my upcoming appointment, it asked me like, what issues are you having? Has anything changed since my last visit? Like, are there any adjustments you think you need to your routine? So she's like collecting that information from me before I even step foot into the salon. So I'm like, is it really that big of a difference between like what I am experiencing with my stylist, which I think is great, versus what other people are experiencing? So I just like have all these questions running through my head, but I will talk to her. I do, like, it's hard to tell exactly what's going on with my hair right now because this is day 3 here. And like I can feel in my roots I didn't stretch it out enough. So it's hard to discuss, with you guys right now about what I'm going through with my shape. But I know for a fact I have like some breakage in here. And that was mostly because one of my sons crawled into my bed in the middle of the night with a train, like a battery operated train, and it like wrapped up in here and yanked it. So this side of my hair has been like jacked up for months. So I do want, something to bring this all together. And like the back of my hair has never really connected, so I would like this like up off of my neck. Yeah, and I think she could do all of that. I don't think I'm definitely not gonna film the entire appointment when I go on Monday. I will probably like try to get some clips and ask her, if she could use my phone to record some before and after stuff. But I just kind of want to relax and enjoy my appointment because it's been over a year, and just getting things right and just seeing where my hair is overall. Because like even like everything's going on, it's got me, second guessing myself. I'm like, my hair feels pretty good. Like I can see the splits, but that's expected because it's been a year since, I've gotten my hair cut. I haven't had any issues. Nothing that stands out to me. So I'm curious to see how my appointment goes, and I will share. But it seems like my stylist just got back off of a nice hiatus, and I don't want to bring like all the curly cut drama into her salon. So like I said, it's just gonna be me and maybe just like a before and after of the cut, because she actually sets my hair with the Felicia Leatherwood brush, and I tried that on myself and I don't get the same results because it's like some kind of like dexterity you gotta have, like where you brush and then follow it with the with your fingers to be able to like group the curls, and when I try to do that it just turns out ungood. So I don't set my hair the exact same way she does, but I'm looking forward to having a shape again because Like right now, like I spend a lot of time fluffing it out, or you know, just trying to adjust for the fact that like this hangs way longer than this does right now. And the same thing in the back. The back hangs way longer than the middle, and this side hangs way longer than that. So I spend a lot of time in the mirror just trying to make everything line up. So I miss having a shape that like where I just wash, set, and go. And I have a trip coming up, 7-day trip to the beach, and I'm gonna try to rock a wash and go the whole time I'm there. We'll see how that goes. So in order for me to do that and just like feel good and confident and stuff, I just wanted my shape back. I guess I was gonna make a video about like why I think my hair is in good shape, but I'm just gonna go to the salon and make sure my hair is actually in good shape before I make that video. Thanks for watching, and that will be what's coming up next, and thanks for letting me clear my mind. Have a good one.